Learning doesn't stop when the school bell rings or a project wraps up or even when a meeting ends. Real learning begins afterwards. It begins when you take the time to process, to reflect, and to capture what you've learned. And one of the most effective tools for doing this is the Learning Journal. So, at first glance, it seems simple. Write down what you learned today. And that impact is powerful. But it's more powerful, and the Learning Journal is going to transfer and transform everyday learning experiences into knowledge and measurable growth when we do some reflecting. So it's going to improve memory and retention. This is one of the greatest benefits. So writing strengthens the neural pathways and it makes it easier to recall what you've learned later. Even just jotting down a bullet point reinforces memory far better than a passive review. It's going to reveal patterns in your learning, and over time, these entries are going to highlight themes, strengths, challenges, and reoccurring areas of growth. This makes it easier to adjust your strategies and focus where it matters most. It's going to encourage deeper reflection. It's easy to rush from task to task. We've got so much to do. And so it's really simple to just check things off a list. But a learning journal is going to force you to pause, think about what happened, and extract those meaningful insights, which then turn experience into wisdom. Next, it's going to boost motivation and confidence. Progress might feel invisible in the moment, but journaling is going to create a visible record of your growth, and it's going to help you to celebrate those small wins and even to stay motivated over the long run. So, then it also is a problem solving tool. I love this part. Past entries are often going to hold the answers to our current challenges. So, you want to review your journal so that you can reveal your strategies, reminders, or even lessons that you've learned. So, how do you write your journal entry? So, let's start with some SMART goals, and we'll look over how to do a SMART goal in just a moment. Write down some daily activities and then come back later and review them. Write down some challenges that you've incurred. You may want to write down what you want to learn more about. And then also be sure that you always reflect on how your day went or share some stories from your day. So, what are SMART goals? SMART goals are specific goals that measure success through your milestones. They're going to have to be achievable. You don't want to make it too far out that you can't achieve them, because if you can't achieve them, it's very disheartening. They need to be relevant, meaning that they have to align with your values, and you need to make sure that you have enough time to check in and reflect. So, this might be a nice sample of how you might want to do your SMART goals. So ask yourself some guiding questions when you sit down with your learning journal. What did you learn today? What challenged you today? What's one thing that you're going to respond to tomorrow? And how are you growing over time? But here's my pro tip for you: keep your journal short and consistent. Even a few sentences are going to be more valuable for you than long entries that you only do once in a great long while. So, who benefits from a learning journal? Students can benefit. It reinforces their classroom knowledge and study habits. Professionals can benefit. It captures takeaways from projects, meetings, and even training. Leaders, they're going to reflect on decision making, communication, and growth. And most importantly, those lifelong learners, because we're going to turn everyday experiences into wisdom. So here's your challenge. Tonight, set aside 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and write down one thing that you learned today, one challenge you faced, one insight or action step for tomorrow. And if you do this for a week, you're going to see how quickly your awareness and your growth expand. A daily learning journal isn't about recording the past, it's about shaping your future, one page, one insight, one word, and one day at a time.